It's been years since Po and the Furious Five first kung fu kicked their ways into our hearts, but we remember it like it was yesterday. The training montages, the epic battles, the noodles. Audiences couldn't get enough, which might explain why a third movie is just around the corner. I'm Dan from Frederator. We're asking, do you think you know everything there is to know about Po, Tigress, and the rest of the gang? Well, think again. There's so much more to this beloved franchise than meets the eye of the tiger. So sit back, grab some udon, and get ready to get your learn on, because Channel Frederator is counting down the 107 facts you should know about the Kung Fu Panda franchise. Let's begin with the original movie. Number 1. The first Kung Fu Panda was DreamWorks' biggest opening for a non-sequel film. It's also the highest grossing animated film that year. Number 2. The staff used the code word Daydreamer during production to keep the actual name under wraps. Number 3. Since Kung Fu Panda takes place in China, animators spent years studying Chinese art. They even traveled to China before starting production. Number 4. The whole animation team took Tai Chi and Kung Fu lessons in order to get a better understanding of how the characters would move. Number 5. The film utilizes a whole spectrum of color symbolism. Gold represents heroism, red represents power, blue represents negativity or evil, and green represents wisdom. Number 6. Mark Osborne of SpongeBob SquarePants fame and John Stevenson of Shrek fame directed the first film. Different directors took over the sequels, but more on that later. Number 7. The hand-drawn animation sequence at the beginning of the film was made to resemble Chinese shadow puppetry, a performance art form that originated over 2,000 years ago. Number 8. The filmmakers also took inspiration from some pretty remarkable Chinese films. For example, the rooftop chase scene was heavily inspired by the wirework of several kung fu films, most notably Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Number 9. Likewise, the interior of the Jade Palace pays homage to the King's Palace in the film Hero. Number 10. Many of the characters in Kung Fu Panda mentioned that the Jade Palace is said to hold the 1,000 scrolls of Kung Fu, but they're wrong. To get the look they were going for, the animators had to add more than 22,000 scrolls. Number 11. According to the writers, the scene where Po gushes over the relics found in the Jade Palace was based on the director's experience when visiting the Skywalker Ranch and seeing all of the Star Wars memorabilia. Number 12. Po's original face design was too skinny. The animators had to make his cheeks bigger in order for him to fit more food in them. Number 13. Kung Fu Panda took 857,000 hours to complete. That's over 4 years to make one film. Number 14. The animation staff consisted of artists from all over the world, including the US, China, Canada, France, Italy, Spain, Ireland, the UK, Mexico, Philippines, Japan, Sweden, Belgium, and Israel. Number 15. The chunk of wood that Po picks up as a souvenir of Tigress's awesomeness was deemed the love chunk by the layout department. Number 16. In the first storyboarded version of the Wuxi finger hold scene, Shifu used a Chinese finger trap to catch Po. Centuries ago, emperors would select officials based on how they handled the finger traps. Number 17. Master Shifu is a red panda, which seems like a good connection to Po, but the animal is actually more closely related to a raccoon. Number 18. Shifu gets his name from the Chinese word meaning teacher master. The title is often used for addressing martial arts trainers. Number 19. According to the directors, Shifu didn't always want to train the next Dragon Warrior. When he was younger, he wanted to become the Dragon Warrior. It wasn't until he thought he failed that he became a teacher. Number 20. The Furious Five are based off of the 5 animal forms found throughout Kung Fu, predominantly in the Northern Shaolin style. They are a tiger, crane, leopard, snake, and dragon. While the movie versions differ slightly from the original forms, they all use the style of Kung Fu they represent. Number 21. During development of the film, creators had intended to cut one of the main characters, making it the Furious Four, but they had all become so attached that they couldn't choose one to cut. Number 22. Po's character was originally going to be lazier in the beginning of the film, and then cockier once he was chosen to be the Dragon Warrior, but Jack Black, the voice of Po, argued that it would make the character unlikable. Po then evolved into a Kung Fu enthusiast more aware of his shortcomings. Number 23. Black ad-libbed many of his lines. When recording, he liked to start by reading what was in the script, and later he'd add his own special twist to it. More often than not, his version made it into the movie. Lines like "my tenders" were made up on the spot. Number 24. Black would often act out the scenes physically, attempting to strike kung fu poses. Because of this, the sound designers would use his very real gasps in the Po fight scenes. Number 25. Po loves to eat dumplings and other goodies. However, real pandas actually eat bamboo shoots, leaves, and stems. Number 26. Giant pandas are classified as an endangered species, and because of their reliance on bamboo, are particularly susceptible to the loss loss of their ever-shrinking habitat. Number 27. The scene where Master Oogway ascends among the cherry blossoms took over 6 months to finish. The total number of petals, a whopping 37,517. Number 28. While working on the cherry blossoms scene, FX artist Nick Pavlov initially refused to shave until his shot was complete, though he only lasted 27 days before his girlfriend made him cave. Number 29. Early versions of Oogway included him having a, quote, hard-swearing mob boss personality, which then became a, quote, creepy grandpa character. Eventually, both of those ideas were scrapped. Number 30. In earlier versions of the script, Mantis was the traitorous villain instead of Tai Lung. Other versions had Po living in the bamboo forest with his mother at the beginning of the story, and others with him living with Shifu selling wind chimes for a living. Number 31. Tai Lung's name translates to Great Dragon. The name is also a reference to Lung Ti, a famous kung fu movie star. Number 32. Tai Lung is a snow leopard. In the wild, snow leopards prey on both giant pandas and red pandas, making him the perfect opponent for Po and Shifu. Number 33. At one point in production, Po's mother was going to be a major character in the film. She even had a home designed as well as a sequence written about her dating other animals. Number 34. During the animation, the rigging department had to make some interesting controls. One was a motion control on the neck of Oogway they nicknamed the Waddle. Number 35. Every time an animator finished a scene, they'd get a fortune cookie with a customized fortune. Number 36. The first film's assets took up 52 terabytes of memory and required over 24 million hours of rendering. Number 37. When designing the fighting style for Mantis, the animators took inspiration from the Hanna-Barbera character Adam Ant. The animators liked the idea of the fighter being so small that he couldn't be seen. Number 38. In the fight scene for the dumpling in the first film, each bowl shown contains exactly 64 noodles. Number 39. The name of the prison in the first film is Chorm Gom, which translates to sit in prison in Cantonese. Number 40. It took a combined 54 systems, including rockets, trails, lights, and emitters, to create a single effect of Po riding the rocket chair into the stadium. And the number of particles that explode from that chair, 953,593.
Hey everyone, we're taking a quick break from the facts to let you know what's coming up next. So on Tuesday, we are going to have 107 facts about how the Grinch stole Christmas. And then on Wednesday, we're having 107 facts about Frosty the Snowman. And with that, let's get back to the facts.
Number 41. Before animators would fully animate the fight scenes in 3D, they would have a full 2D version of the scene completed so that the animators would have an exact idea of how the characters would move during fights. Number 42. The Valley of Peace only has 1,478 unique citizens, but there are 2,306 spectators in the audience during the Dragon Warrior ceremony. To up the ante, 1,040,229 pieces of confetti are used when Po is finally chosen. Number 43. The rope bridge was based on the bridge in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Number 44. When Tigress gets hit on the bridge, she travels through those planks at 40.9 miles an hour. For the record, the length of the rope bridge is 629 feet. Number 45. The artists made a conscious effort to avoid making Tigress appear humanly feminine. Instead, they decided to use the markings on her face as a way of mimicking makeup. Number 46. Angelina Jolie, who voices Tigress, has an actual tattoo of a tiger on her back. Number 47. The staff said Viper was the hardest character to animate out of the Furious 5. Her model contains 120 different bones, and they used Chinese poetry as the markings on her skin. Number 48. Kung Fu Panda eventually became so big that it spawned its own theme park. Number 49. The voice actress for the Smitten Bunny in the dream sequence is voiced by Jack Black's wife, Tanya Hayden. Number 50. Po uses a bear-style technique of Kung Fu. Since the bear has the most basic of fighting motions, animators made sure Po's style wasn't complex, but still very strong. Number 51. Tai Lung's signature move is the double fist punch, which he does 3 times in the film. Number 52. When Tai Lung knocks down the crumbling building in the final battle, 826 pieces of debris are thrown. Number 53. Animators had 8,260 tiles rain down on Tai Lung from Po in the final battle. Number 54. Originally, Po's final test was to catch a single droplet of water as it fell off a mystical root in a sacred chamber in the Jade Palace. Number 55. The end credits of the first film features a cover of Carl Douglas's song Kung Fu Fighting by CeeLo Green and Jack Black. The Russian version of the film featured the cover of the same song sung by Russian rock group Mummy Troll. Number 56. Kung Fu Panda premiered in the US on June 6, 2008. It opened in 4,114 theaters, grossing $20.3 million on its opening day and $60.2 million on its opening weekend. Number 57. Kung Fu Panda was also the first film for DreamWorks Animation to be released in IMAX. Number 58. Kung Fu Panda was hugely successful in China and even led to meetings among Chinese government officials to discuss why the country's own animated films aren't as accurate to Chinese culture as Kung Fu Panda is. Number 59. The first film lost the Academy Award to WALL-E, but it did win 11 Annie Awards, which WALL-E won none of. Number 60. DreamWorks Animation was sued in 2011 by writer Terrence Dunn for allegedly stealing his pitch for a spiritual kung fu fighting panda bear. And after a 2-week trial, jurors found in favor of DreamWorks. Number 61. The film is referenced in rapper Lil Wayne's song Sweet Dreams in the line, "I am the Kung Fu Panda." Number 62. The Japanese magazine Kero Kero Ace released an issue with the first installment of a Kung Fu Panda manga. It was written by Hanten Okuma, and the art was done by Takafumi Adachi. Number 63. Kung Fu Panda became the nickname for Giants baseball player Pablo Sandoval after he impressively leapt around a tag at home plate in a game against the Dodgers on September 19, 2008. Okay, now on to Kung Fu Panda 2. Number 64. After the success of the first movie, the directors were constantly being asked the same questions. One of the most common ones, why is Po's dad a goose? Helped shape the direction of the second film. Number 65. They were also asked, is Tai Lung dead? According to the director of the second film, Jennifer Wu Wilson, Tai Lung is confirmed dead. Number 66. It was originally going to be called Kung Fu Panda 2 Pandamonium, but then changed to Kung Fu Panda 2 The Kaboom of Doom. Finally, they went with Kung Fu Panda 2. Number 67. Kung Fu Panda 2 was the first film by a major Hollywood animation studio to be directed solely by a woman. Number 68. Though he's left uncredited, Charlie Kaufman, screenwriters for films like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Being John Malkovich, gave the film a polish before it entered production. Number 69. Because the creators wanted Po to be seen only as a hero, he never actually kills any of the enemies in the film. He only injures them. If you look closely at the wolves, you can see them breathing after getting knocked out. Number 70. James Woods was originally going to voice a character by the name of Master Skunkman, but the character was later scrapped for unknown reasons. Number 71. Originally, the boss wolf was a crow, but the animal was too close in resemblance to the crane. Number 72. Another detail to spot if you look closely at the noodle shop, you can see discoloration in the walls where Tai Lung damaged it in the first film. Number 73. The antagonist, Lord Shen, was originally conceived to be a corrupt mayor of the town in the first film, but the creators decided to carry him over to the next film instead. Number 74. Lord Shen was originally meant to be born sickly, weak, and too pitiful to deserve attention. Shen's albinism is a remnant of this idea. Number 75. The style of Kung Fu Shen uses is known as Kai Li Fo. Practitioners typically use a large metal fan as a distraction during combat, but Shen uses his fan-like tail feathers. Number 76. According to director Jennifer Yu, Shen was one of the hardest characters to animate. Detailing his large body and feathers was like animating 6 characters all at once. Number 77. The first film has an 87% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and Kung Fu Panda 2 has an 81%. Number 78. When Po is hit with one of Shen's cannonballs, it's measured at moving 42 feet per second. Later in the film, another cannonball is measured at traveling 2,940 feet per second, over twice the speed of sound. Number 79. The film included stereoscopic 3D, which effectively doubled the amount of frames and likewise doubled the workload. Number 80. In the storyboards, there was going to be a female Mantis who appeared in a bar scene and flirted with Mantis. The character was cut during production, but later made it into a bonus deleted scene on the film's DVD. Number 81. In addition to voicing the English versions of the film, Jackie Chan also lent his voice to the Cantonese and Mandarin versions. According to Chan, the whole recording session for all 3 languages took less than 5 hours. Number 82. Jackie Chan's character Monkey often uses Jackie Chan's signature thumbs up in both of the movies. Number 83. The father of actor James Hong, who voices Mr. Ping, actually owned a noodle shop, so the producers incorporated it into his character. They say that while he was reading his lines, he would crave noodles. Number 84. During production, James Hong would often send regular notes to the writers about how he thought the character would act. When describing the character in an interview, Hong said, "He's like a Jewish mom and a Chinese dad combined." Number 85. Mr. Ping was originally planned to be Po's stern boss and not his adoptive father until one of the storyboard artists pitched the idea. Number 86. Master Croc is voiced by Kung Fu legend Jean-Claude Van Damme in his first ever voiceover role. There's even a nice nod to Van Damme's signature Kung Fu split. When his character bursts from the water and lands on the dock, he, you guessed it, does the splits. Number 87. The first two films' scores were composed by John Powell and Hans Zimmer. They traveled to China to study local orchestras and instrumentation, and even spent time in the Chinese National Symphony. Zimmer also did the music for Kung Fu Panda 3. Number 88. Whenever a cannonball splashes in the final battle, there are over 10 million particles being rendered. Number 89. As a tribute to the star of the films, a newborn giant panda cub in the Atlanta Zoo was named Po. Jack Black was present for the naming of the newborn cub. And now we're diving into Kung Fu Panda 3. Number 90. Kung Fu Panda 3 introduces Po's father, Lee. Lee is voiced by actor Bryan Cranston, famous for his role as Walter White in Breaking Bad, and the dad for Malcolm in the Middle, but of course no one remembers that. Number 91. Kai will be the first supernatural villain of the Kung Fu Panda series. Quote, he's somebody that's beyond Tai Lung, beyond Shen, says co-director Jennifer Yu Nelson. He has large horns, leather armor, and uses two jade swords with chains attached as his go-to weapon. Number 92. Who better to voice such a formidable villain than J.K. Simmons? Simmons has also voiced Ford Pines on Gravity Falls, Lenny Turtletop in BoJack Horseman, and Tenzin on Legend of Korra. Number 93. According to the plot synopsis, Po will face more than one foe and deal with, quote, hugely epic perils. We know one of them is the villain Kai, but what could the other be? Number 94. Alessandro Carloni will be co-directing Kung Fu Panda 3 with Ye. He served as the animation supervisor on the first film and head of story on How to Train Your Dragon 2. Number 95. Kung Fu Panda 3 is the first animated film to be designed for 2 languages at the same time. This counts for lip syncing and animated mouth movements as well. Number 96. Kung Fu Panda 3 marks the first time in the franchise we'll see Panda Village. Number 97. Kate Hudson replaced Rebel Wilson as the voice of Mimi, the ribbon-dancing panda who's romantically obsessed with Po. Number 98. A Kung Fu Panda theatrical play was in production at some point. Kung Fu Panda Arena Spectacular was supposed to release around the same time as Kung Fu Panda 2, but has since been postponed. Number 99. As part of the franchise, there are now over 4 video games and 3 seasons of the TV show Legends of Awesomeness. The TV show release coincided with the second film's premiere. Number 100. Despite its huge popularity, the US's love for pandas predates Kung Fu Panda. Americans first fell in love with pandas when Chairman Mao Zedong made a gift of 2 pandas, Sing Sing and Ling Ling, to President Richard Nixon in 1972. This ceremonial gift of high honor gave rise to the term of panda diplomacy. Number 101. This will be the first film in the series to be released in both the US and China on the same day. This will allow the production companies to circumvent the country's strict import quota and take a greater share of box office revenue. Number 102. This will also be the first in the series to be produced by Guillermo del Toro, the writer, director, producer famous for Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, and Pacific Rim. Number 103. It was originally planned to be released on December 23rd, but the date was changed in order to avoid competing with Star Wars The Force Awakens. Number 104. Taiwanese pop singer Jay Chou will sing the theme song. Number 105. According to Jeffrey Katzenberg, the CEO of DreamWorks, the whole story of Kung Fu Panda has about 6 chapters to it, implying there may be more films to come after the upcoming 3rd film. Number 106. Katzenberg has also said it's more broadly comedic. Quote, it's actually closer to the first movie than the second movie. The second was dealing with Po's past and had dark elements to it. And number 107, in the video game Sonic Unleashed, Sonic and Chip spoofed the dumpling fight scene from the first film. You can find it in the restaurant in Chunnan.
Thank you for watching ToonedUp's 107s, where we cover everything you've ever wanted to know about your favorite cartoons. If you like this video, we have a couple others for you to click on right here. Also, if you're looking for a gift still, we have a holiday gift guide going up on the leaderboard. So if you're looking out for one of your gamer friends, or a gift for, yours truly, I mean, I don't know what you want to get for Christmas, but you might want to check it out over there. And remember, Frederator loves you.